284/281, part 1, take 1.
Editor, come here.
Yan, tan, tetherer, petherer, pimp, setherer, leatherer,
Overer.
overer, doverer, dick. That right?
Yeah.
Who says the witch number's up to 10?
Who do you think?
Who?
A witch. Ta-ra.
Sure.
Hello.
Hello, Titch. I thought the mice had gobbled you two up.
Ah, the blinking big enough ones I've seen.
Well, are you going to report Stanley Ogden to the elf?
No,
Why not?
because Alan and Len say there's no proof that the mice are coming from there.
And the right, Norma, we don't.
Well, we'll just have to get some then, won't we? And if you two don't, I will.
Yes, that's fine, thank you.
Anything else you'd like?
I don't think so, unless you've...
You've done most of the classic poses. You can't really improve on them, can you? Unless you took a standing on her head. Bit different, I suppose.
Very.
Still, her feet are hardly her best feature, are they?
Hardly.
You'd think strippers would have gone out of fashion, wouldn't you? You know, with all you can see on telly these days.
Girl entertainers are still popular, are they?
For what keep me in this club going, Mrs. Bishop? The female form hasn't altered since Eve was a girl. It's still the greatest show on earth.
I suppose so.
Well, no suppose about it. Balloons.
Pardon?
We could do the balloons bit.
Balloons?
You know, balloons instead of ostrich feathers.
Oh, if that's what you want.
We've not got the balloons, though. And even if we had, I've not got puff enough to blow them up. Gives me a headache just blowing up balloons. No, I think that'll do for Heidi. All right, Heidi, thank you very much. Will you tell Vicky we're ready for her, please? You've been a photographer long, Mrs. Bishop?
Well, not for long, since I met my husband.
You were never in the stripper game yourself, were you?
No.
No? Only I thought with you coming along instead of your husband, you might have had some experience, like?
None. As a matter of fact, my husband doesn't know I'm here.
You're not doing a foreigner, are you? Behind the old man's back?
For what?
A foreigner. Job on the side. Making a bit of pin money.
No, I just happened to see the appointment in the diary. Booked by an assistant, actually, Rita Littlewood.
Oh, good old Rita, I know well. Looks good, sings better.
Yes. So I thought, why not? It's something of a change. Something of a challenge.
What sort of photos you normally take, then?
Weddings, mainly.
Weddings? Fancy. Still, they have a lot in common, don't they?
What do?
Weddings and strip shows.
I don't quite see...
Women displaying their charms, so to speak, publicly.
Rather more demurely at a wedding, wouldn't you say?
I'd say less honestly myself.
You've not been crossed in love by any chance, have you, Mr. Slade?
Relentlessly. It's a job I do, you see. Women think I'm having a permanent orgy. That's not true. Strippers aren't my cup of tea.
I thought you wanted me dressed to start with.
Up to the photographer, darling.
Anyway, I didn't quite catch the name.
Vicky. Short for Doris.
Anyway, Vicky, how do you want me to stand? Oh, I leave it entirely to you. All right? Splendid.
Right, Ben.
Ah, thank you. I got that way. What?
Hey.
Yes.
Have you noticed what's happened since everybody started accusing Stanley of harbouring monster mice?
Oh, what?
He's always on his own. Nobody subs with him anymore.
That's coincidence, love. He went round there himself.
Well, I said how do to him when he came in.
Me too, but I must admit, I was a bit offhand.
It's my belief you're all shunning him because you're frightened of mice.
Rubbish. I used to keep white mice as a child.
I had 78 at one time. Started with 2.
You can't start with one.
If one of mine got out in a coal hole, my mum wouldn't go for coal for weeks. If I could go out first.
Hey, Bet, get another one of them pies.
Oh, coming up, Stan. Billy, will you serve?
Hey, I thought it was us that was shunning him.
Yeah, well, you never know. Mice might be catching.
There we are, Stanley, one pie. Any news yet on when your Hilda's coming back from her arches?
No idea, no letter either.
That must be a bit rough being on your own.
I manage.
Do you, do much cleaning up, do you?
Why?
Oh, I only asked. I mean, if I was left on my own for any length of time, I know I wouldn't do.
Well, I do. All right?
All right. Sorry, I asked. What was all that about? I asked him if he did much cleaning up. He nearly blew his top.
You know, I reckon those mice were forced out of that stable when we started to clean it up. And then they escaped to the corner shop. And then they spread along the row. It's just that some of us haven't noticed any.
Well, there's been none here, or I'd have been looking for another job. Anyway, don't you think it's a coincidence? Nobody started complaining about seeing mice until Hilda had been away long enough for Stanley to turn the house into a pigsty. I mean, just look at the way he eats in public for a start.
Hello, Ken.
Not a pretty sight.
You can say that again.
Pipe, please, Hal.
In a minute, yes, thank you.
Oh.
Well, I wonder how the intrepid duo's doing. I wish I'd taken the day off and gone with them now.
You know, I reckon Jerry will be stumbling down some mountain slope with old Tatlock strapped to his back, moaning.
More like groaning.
Yeah, just hope I don't do anything silly. It can be very wild up there, you know, and he's no spring chicken.
Mr. Tatlock, I wish you'd not go airing off. Look, this is no place for a gentleman on his own.
You were going to say old gentleman, weren't you?
No, I wasn't.
Any road, old or not, I come here to do a bit of walking. Not to keep stopping and inspecting plants and things. I see enough of them on me allotment.
Well, you have to notice the flora and the fauna. It's as well as scenery.
What more could a chap want, eh? It's all here. Fresh air, space, body tingling all over, which isn't bad for an old chap my age. And no silly women yakketing all over the place and distracting you either.
I could just fancy one of my cheese and chutney sandwiches now.
Yeah, we've just started off after a bowl of soup and you're thinking about your belly.
We've been walking now for 2 hours.
Yeah, well, we'll just walk another mile or two before we have a stomach. Come on.
There you are. You see, if you'd gone with Mr. Tatlock, you'd have been cooking that bacon on a little stove somewhere in the middle of nowhere, looking all rugged and manly.
Doubt if Ken would look rugged, Norma, even in the middle of nowhere.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Clegg. I mean, it's just as well to know people think you're a bit of a hothouse plant instead of the lonely pine that you imagine.
Oh, go on, Ken Barlow. You don't imagine yourself a lonely pine.
No, I realised I wasn't cut out for the big outdoor life when I found I couldn't make snowballs with bare hands.
Oh, the more you make, the warmer your hands get.
So they say, but I used to start blubbering after making a couple. I'd run inside and put my hands on the kitchen stove. Oh, it's absolute bliss it
You
was.
big sissy.
No, it's practical. You know, I'll tell you what, I went on a camping holiday. We had this competition so you could light a fire, make the coffee and boil an egg in the quickest time.
What happened?
Oh, well, our tent never lit the fire.
Oh, it's a good job you stayed at home and let Jerry look after Mr. Tatlock.
Hey, Alan's just tells me that Stan's got himself involved in a very heavy darts game with some sharp lads from Liverpool.
That's right, yeah, I just left there.
Right, what are we waiting for?
Hey, hang on. Got no right to go barging into somebody else's house uninvited. It's trespassing.
Well, breaking and entering, I should think, but whose house is this, anyway?
Oh, come on, Stan.
Stanley's? Well, there's nothing to steal there. I mean, his telly's a crystal set.
We want to see what state it's in.
Well, horrible, I should think, what with Hilda being away. Not that she was ever much to build on, cleanliness-wise.
Exactly.
Ah! Dawning. Mice, you mean? You think Stanley's gone into the breeding business?
I think it's highly likely.
Yeah, well, I would like to spring to his defence. I can't think of one.
But do you think we should go trespassing uninvited to find out?
Well, like snowballs, mice tend to offend my delicate constitution.
Oh, come on, no.
I'll get me coat, Elsie.
I still think you're asking for trouble.
I've never met a woman photographer before.
We aren't all that rare these days.
I've never thought of it as a job for a woman. Humping cameras about.
Don't let women live, hear you say that. We women are supposed to be able to tackle any job.
You'd think we could keep a job like mine to ourselves, wouldn't you? Fellas are doing it all over the place.
Really? Like it, do you, your job?
Don't like it, don't dislike it. It's just a way of earning a living.
Doesn't trouble you then? Embarrass you?
What doesn't?
Well, undressing.
No. Should it?
It would embarrass me.
Maybe you've something to be embarrassed about. I definitely haven't.
That wasn't quite what I was meaning.
What were you meaning?
Well, undressing here, in front of a lot of men. Strange men.
Oh, you only do it for friends, do you?
I don't do it for anybody.
Not even your husband?
Certainly not.
Send him round here one night and I'll give him a treat.
Have you always been in show business?
Show business? Oh, stripping's not showbiz, love. It's taking your clothes off. 3 times nightly and once on a Sunday dinner time. I'm a sort of appetizer to roast beef and Yorkshire pud.
How did you start?
Well, to be honest, I was stage struck as a kid. My mum thought I were a second Shirley Temple. But whoever saw a Shirley Temple with a shape like mine? So I thought, why not let 'em pay to goggle? You know, fellas must be a very frustrated lot. Either that, or they've just got dirty minds.
It's rather sad, isn't it?
Keeps me in boiled beef and carrots, love. Till my husband finds out, anyway.
Doesn't he know what you do?
He thinks I'm a night nurse. I'm waiting for the day he comes in here, I'll kill him.
See you up, ladies.
Oh, thanks, Terry, I'm gasping.
You two getting to know one another, are you?
A little.
She's not been trying to make you be her understudy, has she?
No.
Oh, you never know. You might have a talent for it.
With the talent, perhaps, but not the build.
She's got a sense of humour, as our lady photoist, Vicky.
All she needs is bringing out.
Norma! Norma, come on, get a move on. Stan will be back any minute. Norma!
Well? Oh, Elsie, it's a tip. It must be attracted every blinking mouse for miles.
That does it. We tell the elf.
Coronation Street, P694/281, Part 2, Take 1.
How do? Oh, hello.
You been busy?
So-so.
You're not going to let me have a look at your handiwork?
Oh, later, perhaps. Ernest belong, will he?
Search me, love. I've been out knocking on doors all afternoon.
Got much business?
Couple of engagement photographs. Oh, and triplets.
Oh, that should be nice.
Ah, you should see them. All boys. They're lovely.
Well, there's one thing about this job. There's plenty of variety of subject. Still, they do say it's the spice of life. Variety.
Too good for you, Alex, Stanley. I reckon they're pros, but it shouldn't be hard in the family pub, I'll tell you. Robbing a working man of his hard-earned wages.
Oh, you shouldn't bet, Stan.
Listen, who's talking?
Yeah, well, I only bet in a moderate way.
Well, you've got to do something, haven't you?
You could always spend afternoon chasing the mice with your carving knife, Stanley.
Listen, I haven't got any mice. Anybody says I have gets a bunch of fights and a flipping cake hole. Male or female, right?
Sorry I spoke.
Well, he's taking his time, isn't he? We've been sat here half an hour already.
I've packed up working for the day, you know that.
Look, what's more important, that you lose a couple of hours at work or be get overrun with vermin?
There's only one answer to that, Alan.
It is worrying.
Yeah, it is. There he is.
Hey, what's up? Ray said he wanted me body.
It's another council of war.
Oh, heck, who are we fighting? Not Stanley again.
Look, Norma's been inside his house. Tell him, Norma.
It's a pigsty, then. He ain't cleaned up for days. There's pots and bottles everywhere, and the fireplace is full of dog ends. There's clothes strewn about, crumbs, and it's thick with dust.
I'm sure you're exaggerating,
No,
Norma.
Maggie, I'm not. Go and look for yourself.
No. No, I don't think so.
Oh, what do you want me to do?
Simple. Tell the old fella to come.
What, just because Stan hasn't cleaned up for a couple of days?
A couple of weeks more, like.
Look, it stands to reason because he hasn't cleaned up. It's encouraging the mice, isn't it?
Have you seen any mice, Norma?
Well, no, but they don't come out in daytime, do they? Do they?
Well, it's a bit much going behind Stan's back.
Look,
like
we did
that.
ask him to cooperate.
Hilda, she'll be home any day now. She'll put things straight.
No, we've decided we want him reporting, that's all. Look, we spend every penny we earn trying to make this house to some bit like, while he lives up to his eyeballs in muck next door.
Now, that is an exaggeration.
You wouldn't say that, Alan, if you'd seen it.
All right, then I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go and have a look myself,
Will
eh?
you, Len, will you?
How did you get in?
Back door's open.
Where is he now?
He's still in the Rovers.
Hey, look, Al, will you ring the Rovers and tell him to keep him there?
Right.
Elsie, can you honestly say you'd go to all this trouble if it wasn't the Ogdens?
It's nothing to do with them being the Ogdens. We're not going to be overrun with mice in this house. It's bad enough living in this street without sharing a rabbit hutch with them things.
Here, here.
Have another pint, Stanley. On the house. There we
well,
are.
I was going, you know, but
never mind, get it
you
down
twisted my arm. Thanks.
I feel a bit mean about this.
I shouldn't worry. Stanley's too thick-skinned.
I won't be so sure about that. You remember how cut up he were when everybody thought he were a peeping Tom? Hey, he's not like Albert Tatlock. You definitely can't insult him.
Where exactly did you see him? I mean, there's a mist coming down, and he's a stranger around these parts, isn't he? He could be in trouble up there on his own.
Well, it's not my fault that he can't look after himself. I told him to keep up with me.
Well, I'll give him another half hour, and if he doesn't turn up by then, I'll get in touch with rescue folk. See if he's not somewhere looking for you.
Oh, well, if he is, he's wasting his time, isn't he? Because I'm here, aren't I?
But he doesn't know that, does he?
Well, he ought to have the sense to know that I'd make for here. And he wrote, I'll have another drop of rum. First he worked this here walking.
Mr. Tatlock, where the heck do you think you've been?
More like, where the heck have you been?
Me, I've been worried out of my mind. I mean, 1 minute you're there, and next minute you've disappeared.
Yeah, well, I clamped to do a bit of walking. Not to get marlicking about with a lot of girl-likers.
2 girl-hikers, Mr. Tatlock, and 1 had a bust bootlace. I was fixing it for her.
I know, and you give her a sup of your sarsaparilla and planned a route for her. And got her name and address and telephone number, I shouldn't wonder.
Well, that was just companionship of the open road.
Oh, well, it's the first time I've heard it called that. Any road I felt I wanted something a bit stronger than sarsaparilla, even if you did brew it yourself. And what it said that sarsapaриlla's good for the blood?
It's a well-known fact, I think.
Yeah, well, do you know what I think, Jerry Booth? I think you're a bit eccentric.
You what? Hey, what? Hey, I like that coming from you. Me, eccentric.
I'm not eccentric.
You. Well, I think we did pretty well, actually.
Ah, yes, not
no,
so
come
bad.
on, be fair, Mr. Tatlock.
No, mind, I'd have done better on my own. A lot better.
It's true what they say about you, isn't it? You've got none of the social graces, none whatsoever. Well, I'll tell you something. Next time you want to come up Pennine Way, you can come by yourself. And I don't care if you do fall in a bog, else down a precipice. It'll be a right fitting end for you. You spoil my day with your constant carping.
I didn't know you stammered, Jerry. Is it only when you're mad?
1 rum,
Ah, well,
18p.
He'll pay for it when he gets his drink.
Pint of bitter, please.
We're sitting here like a murder trial jury.
Well,
Hey, it's not all that bad. I don't know what all the fuss is about.
Oh, Len, it's terrible.
Look, I could live in it.
Has he done any cleaning at all?
I'll give over. He is a fella, you know. Don't really expect a fella to do any
Len,
cleaning
there's
up now,
the
do you?
phone. Now, either you pick it up and phone or I will.
Maybe we should have another word with Stan. Ask him to pull his socks
Let's
up.
try that, Maggie. He won't listen.
Len?
I say leave it.
And I say don't.
I'm booking the triplets for Friday afternoon. According to the diary, you've nowt on. That right?
The diary says I'm not on. What on earth?
What's up?
Just have a look at this film. On second thoughts, I think perhaps you'd better not.
Oh, come on. I'm a big girl. I've been a long time. Somebody been sending us some blue pictures to be developed. Oh, Terry Slade's strippers.
I thought I said we weren't to take that job.
That's right. And if you didn't take that...
Emily?
I don't believe it. Still, she was acting rather funny with a batch of film earlier on.
It's incredible.
They're not bad, though, are they? Artistic, even.
Oh, if you like that sort of thing. Well, that's very good, that one.
Oh, yeah.
Can anybody look?
Emily, when did you take these photographs? You did take them, didn't you?
I did.
Well, I thought I said that taking photographs of strippers was not our line of country. I was quite categoric.
Very categoric.
And for once, I decided to be categoric, too. We're in the photography business, aren't we? And they're photographs, aren't they? And the money we get will be just like any other money. So why be squeamish? I've spent my entire life being squeamish, and it's never got me very far. So why not take photos of strippers? They're human beings. They're very human beings.
Of course they are. Well said, love.
But weren't you embarrassed?
Very embarrassed at first, but not when I got to know my subject. When we'd had a chat over a cup of tea and a fag.
A fag?
Oh, she's really gone to the dogs. All in an afternoon, too.
Not me, Ernest. Vicky.
Who's Vicky?
Not her real name. Short for Doris, actually. Would you like to see the rough prints?
I'd love to.
Right.
Not the shy creature she was, isn't my Emily? I wonder if it's my influence.
I shouldn't worry, Ernie. I think, truth be to tell, she's getting one back at me.
Really?
Here we are. That's my friend Vicky. Now, Ernest, don't be coarse. There's no need for that.
Shit, look, how much are we charging the club for all this, anyway?
Oh, I thought 50 guineas.
Oh, that's much too steep, love. They'll never pay that much.
Mr. Slade's already agreed to pay it, love. And any other work he has, it's ours. Or rather, mine. Though I've told him I draw the line at balloons.
Balloons?
It's just a trick of the skin trade, love.
Emily, you're marvellous. You know that, don't you?
Thank you, Rita. It's nice to win now and again, isn't it?
Oh, Mr. Ogden?
Yeah?
Well, my name's Worsley. I'm from the town hall. I'm a public health inspector.
What do you want?
Well, we've received a complaint that you might be infested with vermin.
Well, we're not.
Oh, well, could I come in and check?
No, you can't.
Well, it's my duty to check, Mr. Ogden.
Hey, hang on a minute.
You know, there's still 5 minutes to opening time.
Ah, come on, Billy. My mouth thinks I've been eating cement.
Mine too. Come on, Billy.
You look like a couple of bucks with conscience trouble to me.
It wasn't my fault that Stanley was reported, you know.
You can't blame him, you know, with half the women on the street looking after his blood.
I wonder what it is about mice that upsets women.
Well, they're sharp and quick, you see. Women don't like anything that's a bit slippery and unpredictable.
That's why they like me, you see, because I'm slow and certain and unpredictable.
How are you fixed for a couple of £100?
You're joking. What do you want a couple £100 for?
I was joking. Just testing your reactions. See how fast you are. You seem pretty fast to me.
Sorry I'm a bit late, Billy. I bumped into Nellie Harvey. She wants to know when your mum gets back.
Oh, tomorrow. If you think Stan's place needs siding up, you should see it out the back there.
Ah, that's what I told Nellie. Hey, and guess what? Hilda's coming back. She's rang corner shop and asked Maggie to warn Stan.
How long does it take to see off a school of mice?
Why?
The health bloke's in Oggies now.
I'm just wondering if he'd like to finish before Hilda gets back.
Oh, I hope so. I mean, it can't be very pleasant coming home to find your house full of health inspectors hunting mice. Oh, no, I wouldn't wish that, not even on Hilda Ogden.
Well, See you in the morning, Mr. Ogden.
Yeah, well, I've no idea, honest.
Oh, don't worry, we'll shift 'em. Oh, more opulent homes than yours can get the odd mouse, Mr. Ogden. Oh, and while we're about it, I think we may as well fumigate. Make a proper job of it, eh? See off those roaches at the same time. Well, we'll be back tomorrow, Mr. Ogden. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.